I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of September 23rd, 2015. Coming to you from Alter Ego Comics, comic book shop in Lima, Ohio. We've been doing this for 10 years plus. And not the videos. We've been selling comics for 10 years plus. And every week we read all of the new stuff for as much as we can tolerate and come back and give you our recommendations so that when you head out to your local comic shop, you get the good stuff. Reward the good stuff, people. Top of my stack this week is Marvel 1872. This is issue number 3 of a 4-issue limited series that takes place within the world of Secret Wars. We've raved about this series from the beginning. I think we've talked about each issue as it's come out. This is basically Marvel in the Old West in 1872 in a town called Timely, which is a reference to what Marvel Comics was before it became Marvel Comics. It was Timely Publishing. And the main characters are Steve Rogers, who is the sheriff of Timely, Bruce Banner, who is the doctor of Timely, Tony Stark, who is the Doc Holliday town drunk, brilliant inventor of Timely. Wilson Fisk is the mayor. He's, of course, just like Wilson Fisk. We've got the Black Widow, not called the Black Widow. Actually, she is the Black Widow.
Yeah.
But she's not black. She's white. It's lots of familiar faces from within the Marvel Universe, but in an Old West setting, and there are no powers. So, super cool.
There are no powers yet.
No powers yet. We do see at the end of this issue there is a reveal that will make one of those characters look more like they do in the Marvel Universe, maybe. There are 2 things that actually happen. But this is so good. I can't say enough good things about it. And the super cool thing that I discovered last night, I wasn't really sure where this was going, but the Red Wolf series that comes out in December is set in this time frame. So it's the continuing adventures of Red Wolf within the 1872 universe.
That would be cool.
At least that's the way it looked to me. So I'm excited about that. I had no interest in reading a Red Wolf title until they set it in the town of Timely in 1872. So read it, buy it, love it. It's awesome.
My first pick this week, my pick of the week, is Public Relations. The Whole Sordid Affair Starts Here. This is issue 1 of a new series from Devils Due Comics. Devils Due 1 First Comics? I don't know if... Devils Due was around for a long time, and then they weren't, and now apparently they're back again. And if this is any any indication of what they're doing, awesome. I'm glad they're back. This is the story of a young man who's estranged from his father, who's never met him, and his father is a monarch in some off-European country, except his European country has magic. And he gets invited to his father's 50th birthday.
Sure.
To his father's birthday, to call back, and he sends him 2 tickets to fly back to the crazy European made-up country, and the young guy tries to find someone to go with him. He has a girl he's had a crush on, tries to get her to go. But the real beauty of the book, not necessarily is the modern world interacting with magic. The beauty of the book is it's funny as heck. The interactions between the characters is great. It's layered with lots of pop culture references. It is a little. Some of the humor is a bit off color. Think kind of Sex Criminals, Dirty Jokes kind of stuff. And actually, Sex Criminals is a great model because it's almost as funny as Sex Criminals. Super hilarious. On the cover, they've got a 10 out of 10, flat out hilarious, according to Newsarama. But this is written by Matthew Sturges, who you may remember from working with Bill Willingham on several of the Fables books and the other stuff in the Vertigo universe, House of Mystery. And drawn by Dave Justice. That is right? Yes. And I highly recommend it. This week has...
No, it's drawn by David Hahn.
Okay, well, who's Dave Justice then?
He's a co-writer.
Co-writer, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. You're right. David Justice and Matthew Sturges. Drawn by David Hahn. Colors by Hi-Fi, in case you were wondering. And
High Five? No, Hi-Fi. Never mind.
There's a lot going on with Secret Wars and Converging and all manner of important stuff going on with capes and tights. Sometimes it's nice to have an indie book that's just a fun, quick, hilarious read, and this is that this week.
Speaking of fun, hilarious reads, actually it's not. It's just an awesome read. The Joker Endgame hardcover is out this week. Now, one of the reasons this is awesome, first off, the story is excellent. This is up until something else happens. It's the final showdown between Batman and the Joker, until one or both of them return from the great beyond. So, and it's just a super cool storyline that has throwbacks to stuff, little Easter eggs that Scott Snyder has dropped from throughout his Batman run. But this collects the entire Batman storyline plus a bunch of tie-ins. Does this have? We briefly spoke about this. Does this have the backups from Batman that had kind of the Arkham Asylum stuff? No. You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's in there.
I don't think they're in here. No, but this is the entire Batman story. So Batman 35 to 40, plus Arkham Manor Endgame, Batgirl Endgame, Batman Annual Number 3, Detective Comics Endgame, and Gotham Academy Endgame. This is pretty much a self-contained Batman Joker story that will give you a taste of the rest of the Batman universe. So super cool, great for Batman fans, Joker fans, and as I said, it's kind of, you don't necessarily have to know what came before, you don't have to keep up afterwards, but it could be someone's gateway into the DC universe, which would be super cool.
Yes, and the beginning of this Batman Joker story is Batman versus the entire rest of the Justice League.
Yes.
So, super awesome. Next up, I have a couple of also-rans, or more, basically books that are still great. The Tithe has just started its second arc with issue 5, written by Matt Hawkins, drawn by Rasan Akidal. This is the story that started with Robin Hood types robbing churches, and for the first super churches that are corrupt, so that the government investigates them. And the second arc kicks off a slight shift in direction, a little bit of a roster change. This arc is called, what is it called? It's called something ridiculous, like Islamophobia. Something Islamadan.
Josh is just making up words.
No, it is. Well, that's when he pitched it at the end of the previous issue. It said next arc is called Islamophobia, but it's not actually here on the cover of any of these issues.
They thought better of it.
They thought, no, the book is still about that. The book kicks off with a new terrorist group. Basically, a young boy blows up the Irish Cathedral in New York City, St.
Patrick's,
yes, St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City, which does not go well for anyone. Bunches of people dead, and so they're investigating this with the same religious task force because that's sort of their jam. And it's very good. It still sets up the interesting interpersonal relationship that Hawkins is known for, and it has a great Sunday school in the back where he teaches you, or at least backs up the things he said in the book with links, which you can actually go to his blog. You had talked about how you can't click on the links. If you go to his blog, the whole page is there, and you can follow the actual hyperlinks.
Quick comment about the Tithe. It was originally supposed to be a 5-issue mini, four-issue mini, yeah. But the response has been so strong that they've extended it, and it is now an ongoing.
Yeah.
So, yay people for buying good comics, because this is one of them.
It was quite good. And also, Grayson 12 is out this week, still written by Tim Seeley. This is mostly for those of you who said, I don't want to read Dick Grayson as a super spy. If you like Dick Grayson, if you like Nightwing, if you like classic Robin, you definitely don't want to miss this issue. This is Dick coming back to town and interacting with all of the Bat family people who have previously thought he was dead. Essentially, only Alfred and Bruce knew that Dick wasn't dead. And then with the events of Endgame, Bruce is not necessarily in the loop any longer either. So this is him interacting with Red Robin and Damian and Jason and Batgirl. And there's also a logical reason for it. It's a mission that they're all sort of working together on, and it's great. If you like Dick Grayson, you do not want to miss this issue.
My final selection this week is free.
Free
Here at Alter Ego. I assume it's free. Actually, it says free
right
on the cover,
so.
But I don't know if every shop will have this, but it is a Vertigo 2015 preview book featuring 12 new number ones. Now, Vertigo has been sent down to the farm leagues now that most creators are taking their creator-owned books to Image Comics, and Vertigo is really making an effort to regain the glory that they had when they were doing Y the Last Man and Sandman and Ex Machina and a whole bunch of other things. I'm forgetting stuff. Swamp Thing. Vertigo.
Ex Machina technically Wildstorm?
Oh, it was Wildstorm. Yeah, sorry about that. Wildstorm's part of DC.
I mean, it's owned by the same
but...
publisher, but yeah.
So anyway, they've got a dozen new titles that'll be shipping before the end of the year, and you get about 4 or 5 page previews of some of them, and some of them that jumped out to me that I'm really looking for, that I wanted to read more of. I was reading this preview last night. I'm like, I want to read the rest of the story. Unfollow, which is by Rob Williams and Mike Dowling. It's about a social media mogul that is dying and is leaving his fortune to 140 random people, and it's kind of like a Survivor type situation. Maybe Survivor meets Ready Player One, kind of, sort of, but in the real world. Really enjoyed it. Kind of a creepy guy in here. Lucifer is returning monthly to the shelves just in time for the new series on Fox. This time it's written by Holly Black. And I love Lee Garbett's art. I am so happy that he's going to be working on this series. And I don't know jack about Lucifer. In fact, I was asking Josh yesterday what I had to go on the news and talk about the Lucifer TV series, and had to consult Wikipedia and the human Wikipedia, Josh, to find out what Lucifer was about. But I got the gist of it, and then I read this preview, and now I'm all psyched to read Lucifer when it hits the shelves again. There's another book called Survivors Club, written by Lauren Bukes and Dale Halverson, with art by Ryan Kelly, and it's about people that have survived kind of those 80s slasher films, and they all, due to social media and the world we live in now, they all find each other, and then what happens next. There is not a preview of that. There is just a one-page. Looking forward to that. Gail Simone has a new creator-owned book at Vertigo called...
No, you can stop there. Gail Simone has a new book. That's good enough.
Clean Room, which looks really good. It's great. Pick this up. As I said, it's free to at least to the first 100 customers that show up at our joint. New Romancer looks kind of interesting for people that like relationship comics, with a tinge of history and literature. And Slash and Burn also looks really good. That's by Cy Spencer. It's about a female firefighter who is a pyromaniac. Well, she's a pyromaniac, and she becomes a firefighter to
deal with it, or cope,
get closer to it, or to get away from
or
it.
atone for her previous work.
So definitely grab a Vertigo 2015 preview book, and I am anxiously awaiting these books to hit the shelves. And I hope Vertigo can pull this off here, because creator-owned stuff is extremely popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Last up for me, we've got a graphic novel, actually, The Sleeper and the Spindle by Neil Gaiman. This is illustrated by Chris Riddell, who you may remember did the British versions of Gaiman's Coraline, and the fortunately the Milk in the U.S. that was Scotty Young. But they've actually done a cool collection of those with all the British Riddell Gaiman compilations in a box set that just came out as well. But this is, I'm loath to call it a retelling. Basically, this is a new story that's inspired by classic fairy tales and mythology from Gaiman, who is sort of a master of twisting mythology. It is not, I was sort of surprised, some of Gaiman's previous fairy tale ventures have not been as kid-friendly as they are. This one's actually acceptable for all ages, although it's definitely got a creepy vibe that might be a little weird for the youngest. It is sort of a princess, or actually she's a queen, finds out that in a nearby kingdom everyone has fallen asleep, and she goes to investigate it. But the way the story is structured, the way he characterizes the different people in it is great, and there are just these little hints and drops and drafts of classic fairy tale archetypes and situations that just are seamlessly woven into a very modern type of story, and I loved it.
Awesome. Cool stuff this week. A little bit of a light week. Marvel, a bunch of their stuff is delayed because of Secret Wars, and we're charging headlong into the month of October, where the all-new Marvel... Is there anything after that? All new, all different Marvel. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's right. It's ANAD.
That's, yes.
All new, all different.
ANAD Marvel starts in October, and I'm actually excited about that, but I'm a longtime Marvel fan. So my question to you this week is, there is a new technology, newish technology called Periscope that's on Twitter, that's synced up with your Twitter account, where we could live stream, basically live stream video where you can ask questions live and that sort of thing. So someone asked a question about us doing a Q&A coming up, and I thought, well, Periscope might work better for that because it would be live interaction. So are you interested in a scope? I guess that's what it's called. I feel like I'm going to see my GI doctor. Are you interested in a scope with one or both of us, where we would answer your questions about comics, about running a comic shop, about whatever? Because we're up for something like that. Maybe a 15, 20 minute sort of thing, similar to the length of these videos? If so, let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, share this with your friends, so that we can get more people to read comics that are awesome.
And if you do want a Periscope, maybe also mention in the comments when.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
because
time
it's
of
live
day?
and it's not.
Yeah, we kind of need to do this during business hours.
In the U.S.
In the U.S.
In the
Eastern time zone.
yes.
So anyway, let us know what time works. What time works for you? We're gonna get all kinds of crazy answers, and then we'll pick the time that works for us. So thanks for playing, and we'll see you next time.